The time has come to up your C5 Corvette's game. When they were new, 350 horsepower right out of the box was decent, and they were pretty fast. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee. This is 2023 and it seems like everything on the road these days has a ton of horsepower. Take this 2024 Mustang GT for example. With around 480 horsepower, it's gonna smoke your C5.
One at 119. Here it is.
Sorry for you LS fanboys.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Now guys, we can't have that. So take your good condition C5 Corvette, add an A&A Vortex Supercharger kit, a little tuning, a little love, a splash of ethanol or methanol if you prefer, and what do you get? You get a beast. And if you keep the stock exhaust, it sounds like a jet engine. So just how noticeable is the difference in horsepower output? Well, rather than me trying to explain it, check out the same video you just watched a few moments ago of this very C5 when it was stock going from 60 to 130 versus the same C5 with the addition of a little supercharger magic. The difference is a thing of beauty. For those of you who simply want raw numbers, stock my C5 ran 13.3 at 107 miles per hour in the quarter mile. And with the addition of the supercharger, it consistently runs around 1150 at 130 miles per hour in the quarter. Here's some more objective numbers for you. Stock, the C5s typically put down about 305 to 310 horsepower on the dyno. And last fall, this C5 put down 585 horsepower on the chassis dyno. Now for those of you guys out there, and there's a couple that are about to start typing about that dyno being generous, keep in mind that 130 mile an hour trap speed before you hit the first key. So what's holding you back? Maybe you think that you don't need this type of horsepower, and if you think that, then you're probably right because nobody does need this type of horsepower. But even non-car guys and girls enjoy insane acceleration. I mean, just look at all the Tesla Model S's that they've sold, and they're stupid quick.
And I bought a car, and everything is awesome. Dude, it's so freaking fast. Like, my brain still feels scrambled.
Maybe you're worried about losing drivability. Well, don't be, because the supercharged LS1 behaves pretty much identical to the stock LS1, except of course that whistling sound it makes, which tells everybody that something a little bit different's going on. Maybe you're worried about fuel economy. I mean, after all, gas can be kind of expensive. Well, don't be, because that 99% of the time that your foot is barely on the throttle, you're only going to lose maybe 1/3 of a mile per gallon. Maybe you're worried that it's too expensive. That could be, depending on where you are in life and what stage of life you're in, but with the kit, installation, and tune coming in at about $8 grand, it's going to be much, much cheaper than cars with similar horsepower. For instance, take this 2020 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. It's got around 700 horsepower, but it's 70 grand. What about a 2018 Camaro ZL1? Again, it's got similar horsepower levels, but once again, right around 70 grand. Then there's that late model Mustang GT we just looked at with only around 460 horsepower, and you can pick that up for a little over 40 grand. Maybe you're worried about reliability. Now, this is going to greatly depend on how you treat the car and how lucky you are to a much lesser extent. But what I've come to observe, learn, and believe over the last 5 to 10 years or so is that as long as you keep the horsepower levels at about 600 or less to the rear tires, and you don't beat the living daylights out of it, the vast majority of C5s remain extremely reliable. So what's going to be your next step? You can buy the kit from A&A Corvette and install it yourself and then have it tuned, or you can have it installed and tuned through one of their dealers. Who knows, maybe if you're in the Midwest, I'll even start installing a few kits once in a while, because seriously, it puts that big of a smile on your face. It keeps the C5 relevant in 2023. And it makes it so that when you get out of your rental car and step into the C5 is actually quicker. Guys, thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up below so YouTube knows to share this video. And most of all, thanks for watching.